Hey folks, I'm here on Lake Chickamauga with Kristine, and
hey guys.
You're pre-fishing for the Hobie Bass Open Series. Give us just a quick walk through your boat before we get going, and before Guillermo's boat is right there. He's gonna catch up with us here in a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm running a Hobie Pro Angler 14, the 360. I've got two Garmin 106 SVs. I have the option to run live scope. I'm more of a shallow water fisherman, so this doesn't get used as much, but today it might actually play. I've got my 100 amp lithium Dakota lithium battery here, and then I'm running a Torqeedo 1103, which is really going to come in handy today because we're going to do a big float to cover a lot of water. So going to use that motor to help me eliminate a lot of water for my last day of practice.
So everyone says that, eliminate a lot of water.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that just sounds like, okay, I found places that I didn't catch fish. Is it anything more than that?
It can be. You know, you're looking for, water that's productive. You know, when you're graphing a lot of ledges, you're graphing ledges that aren't holding fish. You're just basically trying to figure out what these fish are doing. And right now it's such an odd time of year because there are still a bunch of big fish up shallow, and there's a lot of fish that are already made their transition offshore. So I haven't really found them really grouped up anywhere, but there's just fish kind of scattered. So I'm just trying to find areas or find certain things they're maybe keying in on, and looking for, right now I'm looking for a specific type of, looking for cypress trees, and I'm looking for a certain type of reeds. And I've found a lot of fish holding to those, so I'm trying to see if I can find more of those areas.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jeff?
Doing well.
It's a beautiful morning. Nice and cloudy. Kind of cool.
It is cool.
We haven't had a cool morning in a while, so this feels kind of nice.
It's been hot down here, and it's nice to have the storms roll through yesterday and cool it off.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, it cooled it off a lot.
So, where we're fishing right now, we consider this upriver. It's on the northern part of Lake Chickamauga, which is the Tennessee River system, and we are going to be fishing just a series of small sloughs off of the main river channel. And today, what we noticed is they're not pulling any current, and that could make for maybe a little slower bite, especially out on the main river. You know, when the current's pulling, those fish are really predictable and they're setting up to feed. So it's a little, it makes it a little bit easier knowing how they're setting up and how to catch them. But when they're not pulling current, sometimes it can make for a little slower offshore bite. So today what we're doing is fishing some shallow water sloughs where that current doesn't necessarily affect that, just in case. Because this river system is notorious for pulling current all through the week and then not pulling much current on the weekend, which can really mess up an offshore bite. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be ledge fishing this week. So we're trying to do a little bit of both, trying to find a couple different patterns that will hold up throughout the weekend. I just went over a very subtle little rock pile out here on the main river, and I saw a fish on my tootie sitting right on top of it. And it could have been anything. It's tough to tell when you're moving, but I almost wonder, you know, I know there's really good smallmouth genetics in the Tennessee River system, and sometimes I just wonder if you were just to fish the main river and cruise around looking for rock piles or, you know, anything different, if it wasn't a ledge, it was just a little rock pile and there's a fish on it. I just wonder if you could do, I don't know, my brain just works like that sometimes. But you probably waste a lot of time doing that.
So this is very much a team approach to pre-fishing, and I mean, you guys are going to see each other's bites.
Yeah.
How does that play out?
So this is
Usually
actually
not like this.
Yeah, this is actually really, really unique for G and I, because we operate pretty much the entire year, for all year, as lone wolves. We fish on our own. We usually have our own vehicle. But with our increase in gas prices, we decided that for this one, he and I were going to carpool from Texas, because it was a 13-hour drive and, you know, a lot of miles. So we decided, you know what, we're going to carpool for this one, and we're going to see how that goes for us. So this is not a habitual thing for us, and we're we're finding out that we're having a lot of fun with it, but it does have its challenges as well, because we both fish a little differently and like to fish different areas. So it's kind of, we're gonna see if we're still together at the end of this thing.
We do fun fish like this a lot.
Yeah, we fun fish like this all the time.
Then it should work. It should totally work.
It works great.
It does. And usually, you know, I mean, yeah, we do fun fish like this a lot.
So we're up in a little tributary. I mean, it's branched out. It was kind of narrow where we came in, but this is not small.
I'm gonna get as close to the front on this thing here. Trying to figure out what I want to start throwing. Yeah, it has been pretty fun just fishing like this. Like I said, we were kind of making bets yesterday.
I lost all the bets.
He did lose a couple, but
I lost them all.
he was also fishing behind me, which sometimes is not that easy.
What's the biggest fish you've caught on Chickamauga?
So far? Well, I've only ever fished Chickamauga for a day and a half.
Yeah.
And
So you haven't fished it before this?
no,
Okay.
no. And the biggest fish that I've caught so far this trip has been 18 inches. I caught two 18-inchers yesterday. You know, it doesn't say much, but I know there's some big fish that live in here.
For sure.
I heard one guy caught a 25-incher yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So, but I haven't heard about too many other fish even close to that. So, but it's also, you know, it's that time of the year where the big fish get kind of hard to come by. They got done spawning, and those big fish are trying to figure out what they want to do for the rest of the year.
On some of the reservoirs back home, and it's just you find deep point extensions, and they're there.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And then you find
we fish
bluegill beds that, you know, they will frequent usually early and late in the day.
Yep. We fished a lot of that yesterday. A lot of big long points on the main river. And we caught some fish out of some of that stuff. We also caught some fish in backwater like this. So we're just trying to keep an open mind, fishing a little bit of everything.
These cypress trees, like there's obviously a carpet hydrilla right here. It's subsurface. Right in front of these cypress trees, there's a little open spot, and those fish will sit right at the base of those. It's pretty shallow back here, but these big Florida strain fish can live shallow year round. I catch them up shallow all year. Some duckweed on the surface too. Getting caught up in my line.
I've got a little water bottle with me too.
Okay, I think we're about to start heading down.
Do what?
So I think we're about ready to start heading down.
Are y'all?
I did get a bite in those pads. There's not as many
There's
as I
not, is there? They
That's why-
usually start on this seam.
I thought this whole back, and again, it's been a couple years, but I thought
Yeah.
I just
No, they always start on that pocket.
Yeah.
Like it should be pads like all the way back.
I mean, you can see some of the old beds in there. But
Oh yeah, there's quite a few in the middle back there.
I'm
What's
sure
up,
you
Cody?
could probably get a couple good fish. I'm not feeling it anymore.
Yeah, it's not hardly enough.
No, it's not.
Well, it could be a quick stop for me.
Yep.
Quick stop.
So we came out of that slough, heading down to the next one, which is about 3/4 of a mile down, and just noticed on my graph, there was a ton of grass. There wasn't really a good edge, but there was a lot of it in the right depth, like from 4 feet all the way out to 9 here is what it starts to kind of taper off. And it's right along the main river, which is kind of interesting. And it's anytime you see something like that, you gotta make a couple casts at it. The carp like it, obviously.
Man, it's gonna be worth going up probably.
Up here,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of those reeds back in there. And it's got decent depth in it. And granted, this is definitely setting up different than what we were fishing. We were fishing a lot of main river stuff yesterday, but this is back in the slough. And I mean, these kind of what are they? Reeds, it's grass. This is kind of what we were fishing the other day and catching a lot of fish on, and we got a single bite on it in here. Just kind of, or when you do cypress trees, kind of odd.
We had some pretty rough storms come in yesterday,
Oh yeah, I was out there in the middle of the lake.
and right now it's, I mean, what's our temperature? Are we even
it's cold.
70, low 70s?
Probably low
Breezy,
70s.
and we've been in the 90s, so
A little bit of a cold front, but the thing is that this mini cold front isn't going to affect the water temperature much, and so I don't consider this something that's going to really play.
yeah.
I just don't. I mean, it would have to be significant, I think, because the lows weren't that different.
Right.
That's what I look at, are the lows at night. If anything, I thought this might, sometimes the little mini fronts like this can kind of fire things up. Obviously, prefrontal, I mean, they were just absolutely chewing yesterday. But, let's see if I can get in there. It looks pretty shallow. So when I'm practicing, obviously I'm fishing a little bit different than I would in a tournament. I mean, I'm fishing a lot faster, and I'm not making near as many casts. Like I probably make, 6 or 7 casts in this little stretch right here in a tournament. I'll make 1 and practice. I'm not really trying to catch a lot. What I'm trying to find out is if there's a lot of fish in the area, and if I can get bit, just kind of making, a couple casts here and there.
You're sampling.
Huh?
You're sampling.
Sampling.
As
Yeah,
opposed
that's a
to
really good way to
picking it apart.
Exactly. Yeah. Trying to move fast, and I'm not. Like I said, I haven't got a single bite in here yet. So as of right now, I'm not. This is an area I would probably rule out and keep moving. I don't know how G's doing, where he's at, but you gotta take that in consideration too. So this is the Berkeley Gilly. This is the 110. They make 3 different sizes. This is the middle size. I take what's traditionally known as a Nico hook. It usually has a fluorocarbon weed guard right there, but I broke it off. Put that through the nose of the screw lock, and then I put this little kind of mushroom weight, Nico weight in the belly, and that helps keep it from rolling. Some people like it when it rolls side to side. The way I fish it, I don't. But
how is that hook staying there?
Because I screwed that screw lock in, so it's basically flush with the bait, so it's enough room to be mobile, but the hook's not coming out.
Cool. And then this that mushroom weight just has a spike.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool. Berkeley Gilly. What's the size and color again?
The size is it's 110. There's a 90, a 110, and a 130. That's the middle size.
Yeah.
And that color is some sort of bluegill flash or something.
Cool. I
ran out of the HDs that I like, so I'm using that one right now.
Yeah. Very cool bait.
Yeah, it's really cool. Looks great in the water. Very realistic. I also the smaller one, the 90, I flip.
Yeah.
I put it on a flipping, like 2 or 3 out flipping hook, and I flip it in reeds, and it works great.
Very cool.
Yeah, but
very
this one's great for
presentation for this time of year.
Oh yeah,
for sure. They eat
a lot of brim up shallow. Yeah, it looks great. Just had a fish just freight train that gilly right on this boat ramp. This thing, just because of the profile, it skips really good too. That wasn't a great skid, but when I'm not being lazy and I can stand up, it's a phenomenal skipping bait.
Looks like G's caught one. It's a nice sized fish. We're zooming over to see what he got. I know Kristine had hooked a good one on the ramp there, so it's in the same sort of area.
A decent fish.
Yeah. What, on that tree?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
18 inches.
I mean, that's a, yeah.
We need those.
Yeah.
We need those now, don't we?
Yeah.
Everything was kind of perfect with that fish. I mean, I'd like to think that this is a good area, but you know, when you get in an area like that, I mean, there's a point, there's a big tree in the front of the point, and there's current ripping across it. I mean, it just seems like the perfect scenario to catch a good fish, just about anywhere. So, I mean, it kind of makes it difficult. You know, do you stay in this area and see if there's more fish in this area like that? I mean, we really haven't gotten that many bites, and we've been in some other areas in the lake where we've gotten a lot more bites. But like I was telling her, if they're all that big, I'll fish hard for just 5 bites, you know, because that's what it's going to take to do well in this tournament. But it's just a tough call.
I did. Ah, did you see that fish? I was probably like a 16-incher, but as it skipped across the water, he came up and hit it. I don't know how I got snagged up, and I saw him clear up there, but he was on there for a second. So, obviously, one of the obvious benefits to having a torpedo is getting point A to point B, covering a lot of water, being able to extend, you know, your time on the water. But another benefit is just exactly what I'm doing right here. You can see I've got my feet on my foot control steering. I'm not using my drive at all. I'm just literally kind of contouring along the bank here and fishing pretty fast to, you know, just kind of start practicing and making casts. But I'm literally allowing it just to take me along the bank line fishing, and it's really, really effective. I don't have to take my hand and move it with the drive. I'm not using my feet, I'm not really using much energy. I'm just using my motor with foot control steering, and it's a huge advantage. It's effortless fishing. So when I'm just trying to work down a bank here, having the torpedo and foot control steering is really nice because I can just adjust my speed and I'm kind of hands-free fishing. This is a situation where that works really well, whereas with a tournament where I'm not able to use the motor, I've got the incredible maneuverability of the 360 drive that can kind of move me along, and it's not too much of a big deal to use that. But the two together make a pretty give me a pretty big advantage as far as maneuverability and just breaking down water quickly. So, this area definitely has some potential. It's got some diversity. There's some grass, there's a lot of wood, and some deeper banks, which is kind of unique in regards to a lot of the other sloughs we've fished have that. It doesn't really suit my style very well. I know right catching fish here, had lost 2 fish. G caught 2, and definitely not going to rule it out, but we got a lot of water to cover, and it's really nice. It's nice having a sounding board today, talking to G, trying to figure out what we want to do and what we're kind of thinking, and get his perspective on it too. It's kind of nice. So I think we're gonna head on down. We got a lot of water to cover. There's 5 or 6 big sloughs just like this one on downriver that I've never fished before, so I'm kind of excited to get eyes on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we can at least get a taste of what every little slough's like, we can make our judgments about what we like and what we don't like at the end of the day. I don't think there's any of these little sloughs that we couldn't catch fish in. I think I think it's just a matter of getting eyes and see what we like the best, and then if we have to figure it out during the tournament, we figure it out during the tournament. There's nothing wrong with that. It. I went to boat flip it and it just fell off.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get a bite.
It was on this thing.
On top water?
Yeah. Freaking crushed it. It was cool.
Just one though, huh?
Just one. That's the only bite I got.
What are you thinking? Do you want to keep running these sloughs and seeing if one of them ends up panning out, or you think that's not the sloughs aren't the ticket?
I don't know. The sloughs appear to have good fish in them. You just got to fish hard, you know? At least for me. But like I said, I did just get that one bite, but it seems like there aren't as many of the little bitty ones, you know?
Yeah.
But
see, there's no need to fish the currency. We know they're there.
You're funny.
oh man, that was cool.
Okay, so I made a couple casts in that drain with a weightless stick bait. Nothing. That first cast with a little 1/8 ounce weight and a little Colorado blade spinner I put on here. Caught one. So it could be the flash of the spinner or just having a little bit of weight to get it down. But how I'm rigging that, sometimes I'll bite just a little bit off the tail. It just seems to make the spinner stay in a little bit better. You're trying to get it as straight as possible, which is sometimes for me is a challenge. There we go.
So 1/16 ounce, almost pegged. It's a little bit loose, and then it's a little Colorado blade.
Yep, Colorado gold.
Cool.
So even like this is what I mean by kind of getting into an area and just feeling pretty good about it, getting kind of excited, getting that, oh, this is, I like this, it looks good. For me, I just got in here and I like all these big cypress trees. It's row cypress trees here. You've got several different types of vegetation. There's pondweed, there's hydrilla, there's that green leafy, it's not alligator grass, but it's not hyacinth, but it's that other green leafy grass that grows on the surface. It's got a lot of diversity. And I don't know, I just feel like it's got a really nice open drain here in the middle, pretty deep, it's 5 foot. I mean, it's a good depth for one of these river sloughs, and I don't know, I just kind of got a good feeling about it. Oops, I just picked it up right there by the boat. Look how far this drain goes. It does run there. It stops right here. practice for the Hobie BOS on Chickamauga. And as far as today went, today was kind of one of those days where I just wanted to do something totally different, go see some new water, maybe try to expand on the pattern I found a couple days ago. I definitely have some areas that I feel much better about. Today, you know, caught a good fish, got a couple bites. You know, G caught it one good one. Today was just more about seeing if there's something else out there that might be better than what I found, and I'm not really feeling that that's the case. What today taught me is that the pattern is pretty similar. There's just areas that are holding more fish and reloading a little better than others, and I think that, you know, that's going to be valuable information going into tomorrow. So I'm going to go try to find out where G is. I think he's across the river and down somewhere, but we have to be off the water at 4 o'clock. So luckily I've got plenty of battery left to get us back down there on time to get off the water and get to checking.
Cool. Appreciate you letting me follow you guys and you know, learn your pre-fishing strategy. So I'm actually gonna zoom back up because they're going from A to B. I'm going back up to A. I'm actually gonna set up a table at the captain's meeting, a torpedo table. So I will see you guys there.
Sounds good, Jeff. It's always a pleasure.